Okay, guys, so here's your maths for Monday. We'll start off with this one here at number 1. We have a negative number, we have -4, and onto that we're adding on another negative number, which is -8. So the way we do these is we start at 0 on our number line, okay, and we are going to count back. First of all, we're adding on -4, so we're going to count back 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll land on -4 here. And now we have to add on another -8 onto that. So we're going -5, -6, and you have to keep going back 8 places. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places added on, and they go -5, -6, -7, and all the way back down to here. That gives you your answer for -4 plus -8. On question 2, we're looking at multiplying 1.2 by 0.3. And a few more of you have got the hang of this now. There were a lot of mistakes on these ones. So we're doing, at the start, 3 2s are 6, 3 1s are 3. We don't have to multiply by this 0 here because it'll just give us zeros. So we just have to work out where our decimal goes, and we count the numbers after a decimal in the sum. So that's 1, that's 2. So we start to the right here and we move in 1, 2 places, and we'll put a 0 in there to tidy it up. We won't just leave it as 0.36, we'll put a 0 to make it 0.36. So that's number 2. On number 3, it says 6 1/4 plus E is equal to 6 3/4. So, and then they're asking us what must E be. If you add it on to 6 1/4, it brings you up to 6 3/4. Well, looking at these, the 6 is the same in both of them, okay? So we don't have to worry about the 6. We're going from 1/4 to 3/4. What do we have to add on to a quarter to get to 3/4? And if you don't know that, we can do a sum. We can do 3/4 take away 1/4 is equal to, and we'll get 2/4. 3/4 take away 1/4 is 2/4. And we can simplify that further. We have a 2 on the top and a 4 on the bottom. 2 will go into each of those. So we get a 1 on top here, and we get a 2 on the bottom here. So E must be a half. So 6 1/4 plus a half would give you 6 3/4. On number 4, insert signs into this number sentence. Okay, so we have to put in a plus, minus, multiply, or divide. They're the 4 operations in maths that we can do. They're the signs that we can use. So looking at this, I'm thinking to myself that 5, how do I get it down to 2? Well, if I took 3 away from 5, I could get it down to 2. So I'm going to put a takeaway sign in here, and I just need to make this in the brackets here equal to 3. Then 5 take away 3 equals 2. So to make this brackets here a 3, I'm going to put a dividing sign in here. And 15 divided by 5 gives me the 3 that I'm looking for. So we need a minus in the first box there and a division sign in the second box. Number 5, we have to simplify 200 over 500. Now we can do this a couple of ways. We can divide 100 into the top and the bottom. But the latest way that I showed you that in school was when we have a 0 on top and on the bottom, we can cross it. And we have another one here on top and bottom, so we can cross those. And we're left with 2 over 5. And that one can't be simplified any further. So 2/5 is the answer. Next one, write the numeral 10,111,000. Now I'm just going to write 10 million to start with. So that'll be a 10 and 6 zeros to make 10 million. Okay, but they're not asking us to write 10 million. They're asking us to write 10,111,000 111,000. Okay, so these in here are the thousands, 10,000s and 100,000s, and we need to replace those with 111. So 111. So that's 10,111,000. And we have nothing in our hundreds, tens or units. Number 7. What will I pay for a €500 phone with a 25% discount? Now, first of all, we need to be able to change this into a fraction. We could do it as a percentage, but it's usually easier to change these into a fraction. So as a fraction, that's 1/4. Okay, so this phone is €500, but it's going to have a quarter taken off. There's a discount of 1/4. So first of all, let's find out what's a quarter of 500. So we're going to take 500 and we're going to divide it by 4. And that'll give us a quarter. So 4 into 5 goes once with 1 over. 4 into 10 goes twice with 2 over. And 4 into 20 goes 5 times. So a quarter of 500 is 125. That's how much is coming off the price of the phone, 125. So we have one more thing to do now to find the price of the phone. We have to do 500 take away 125. I'm going to let you do that yourselves there. There's going to be some borrowing and paying back. But once you have that sum done, that's going to give you the price of your phone. Number 8, we have to round 1.459 to 1 decimal place. So there'll be one number after the decimal, and this 4 is either going to stay the same or it's going to get bigger by 1. And the way we find out what happens to it is by looking at the number that comes after it. So we have a 5 here, and remember it's 5 to 9 climb the vine. So that tells us that this 4 is going to have to go up by 1. So we're going to end up with 1.5 for our answer. Number 9. Y is equal to how many degrees? Now we have a triangle here. We have one angle Y, we have another angle of 80 degrees and another angle of 40. Now we know that if we add up 80 plus 40 plus Y, we get 180 degrees. There's always 180 degrees in a triangle. It never changes. Even if you change the triangle, it'll still always add up to 180. So all we have to do now is work out what is Y. 80 plus 100 plus 40 plus Y is equal to 180. And that'll give you your answer for number 9. Number 10, we're looking at what is happening between these numbers here. So from 44 to 88, we're jumping by 44. Okay. From 88 to 176, well, to find out what kind of a jump that is, we're going to do 176 take away 88. So 6 take away 8 I can't do, so I'll borrow and pay back. 16 take away 8 is 8. Now we have 7 take away 9 we can't do, so we'll borrow and pay back. And 17 take away 9 is 8. And 1 take away 1 is 0. So here we're jumping 88. So for this first number, we're jumping 44. For the second number, we're jumping 88. So I think for the third number, we're going to have to jump by 176. So to work out what goes in here, we're going to add up 176 and 88. And I'm going to let you do that yourselves there in your copy to work that out. Or you can do it as rough work on the page. Now, number 11. 3 kilograms and 40 grams is equal to 3 and 40 over 1,000 kilograms. So for thousandths, we need 3 numbers after our decimal place. And in here, we need to put in 40. So 40 goes in here. The empty space, we're going to put a 0 in it. And we get 3.040. Number 12, 70% of 300 is equal to what? So 70% as a fraction is 70 over 100, and we can simplify that. That's 7 over 10. And to find out what is 70% of 300, we need to get 7/10 of it. The way we do that is we divide by the bottom and multiply by the top. So we're going to have 300, we're going to divide it by the bottom. How many times does 10 fit into 300? And we'll get an answer. And once we've done that, we're going to take our answer and we're going to multiply it by 7. And that's going to give us 70% of 300. Number 13, what's the difference in area? Now, when you see the word difference in maths, you know we're talking about subtraction or takeaway. So we have this red rectangle here, and the area of that is 8 multiplied by 5, and that's going to be 40, and it's in meters and they're squared because it's area. In the yellow one, we have 5 multiplied by 2, and that's going to give us 10 meters squared. So what they're asking is what is the difference in area? So we're going to take this one from this one. So we're going to have 40 take away 10, and that's going to be our answer for number 13. Number 14, what you need to remember here is you do the bit in the brackets first, do this bit in the brackets as well, and then the two answers that you get, you're going to multiply them by each other. Number 15, we have to double 8.9, so we can do that two different ways. We could do 8.9 plus 8.9, or we could do 8.9 multiplied by 2. Both of those will give you the same answer. Both of those are doubling 8.9. Number 16, we've got 14 10,000s, 21 thousands, and 15 hundreds is equal to how much? Okay, so 14 10,000s. So 1 10,000 would look like this. 10,000. Two of them would be 20,000. 3 of them would be 30,000. 14 of them, I hope you can see, would be 140,000. Okay, so that's the first bit here is 140,000. Then we've got another 21,000s. So we'd be adding on 21,000 to that. And then we're getting 15 hundreds. Now 10 hundreds is 1,000. So 15 hundreds would be 1,500. So if we add the three of those up, we're going to get our answer for number 16. Now that's a tricky one. We haven't seen one asked like that before. Number 17, a quarter of a kilogram plus something grams plus 1.4 kilograms is equal to 2 kilograms. So, at the moment here we've got fractions, we've got kilograms, we've got grams, and we've got decimals. So the first thing we need to do here is decide what way we're going to do this sum, and we're going to have to do it all the same way. So I'm going to do this sum in grams. There's other ways you could do it, but I'm going to do it in grams today. So 2 kilograms, that's 2,000 grams. There's 1,000 grams in a kilogram. 1.4 kilograms, well that's 1,400 grams. A quarter of a kilogram, that's a quarter of 1,000, that's 250 grams. So now what we've got is 250 grams plus something grams plus 1,400 grams is equal to 2,000. So what we need to do is add up the 250 and 1,400 and take our answer away from 2,000. And that's going to give you the answer that you need in here in grams. Number 18 is 27 a multiple of 3 and 9. Now that and is important there. For you to say yes to this, you have to be able to divide 27 by the 3 and by the 9. If it works for both of them, then yes, it is a multiple. If it works for one but not the other, then no, it's not a multiple. So, does it divide by 3? Does it divide by 9 with no remainder? And if it does it for both of them, then your answer in here is yes. Number 19, we're adding up a half and a quarter. Now we need those fractions, the denominators, to be the same to be able to do this. So 1/2, I want to change that into quarters. So I'm going to put something over 4 here. So to get 2 and turn it into a 4, we multiply it by 2. So I'm going to do the same with the top, and I'll get 2 quarters. So 2 quarters plus a quarter is how many quarters? And the last one, 3/5 is what percent? And I'll tell you for that one that 1/5 is equal to 20%. So if we had 3 of these fifths, what percentage would we have? Okay, so best of luck with that, guys. If you have any questions on it, let me know, and we'll be back to you tomorrow.